Hi, my name is Jassiely. I am a fourth-year psychology major at the University of Puerto Rico at Mayaguez campus. I am working in Dr. Chrastil's lab. I'm looking at how white matter integrity can be associated with exploration behaviors in midlife adults. This is really important because in diseases like Alzheimer's disease or mild cognitive impairment, deficits in spatial navigation can actually serve as a marker for early onset Alzheimer's or MCI. It's really important to, kind of help develop more research and interest in the area so that it can, hopefully someday be used as a new gold standard for catching diseases like these. Overall, I'm really excited about, getting to experience what research in neuroscience is like in a hands-on manner. And I'm really interested in how spatial navigation can be correlated to white matter tracts and, how that integrity can affect those variables within spatial navigation. So for example, we can talk about maze path efficiency. So how that person, kind of explores within a maze. So like if a person is, tending to stay more within an area of a maze, or they tend to venture out a little bit more, then that can kind of help determine, the efficiency or the quality of their spatial navigation.
My name is Alina Tu, and I am a third-year graduate student in Dr. Liz Chrastil's lab. The lab in general studies spatial navigation, and in the lab we utilize two main techniques to be able to answer this question on how navigation abilities decline with age. So one technique is with VR. We're able to assess navigation abilities in midlife adults, and we're also able to put them in the scanner. Specifically, Jassie's project uses diffusion imaging to look at white matter integrity in the brain and seeing how that correlates with their navigation performance.
My name is Liz Chrastil, and I am an associate professor here in Neurobiology and Behavior at UCI. Our lab studies spatial navigation and the learning and memory processes that go along with that. We use virtual reality, so we have a big empty room where people walk around in virtual helmets. And we use fMRI imaging to study how the brain does this. So we're particularly interested in how individuals differ in their navigation ability. Some people are great, some people are terrible. Why and how that is, how do people's brains differ? We're also interested in the aging process. Navigation is an early marker for Alzheimer's. One of the earliest symptoms is getting lost. And the brain areas involved with navigation are the same areas that are first affected by Alzheimer's disease. So we're interested then in seeing whether some people who are bad navigators, does that make them more susceptible to Alzheimer's? And then understanding that men and women have different navigation strategies, and that women also have a greater risk at Alzheimer's disease. And so we want to sort of put that all together in different ways to understand navigation, learning, and memory. Our summer scholar, Jassie, is working on a project related to midlife aging, so the very earliest aspects of aging, and particularly looking at the differences between men and women in their navigation processes. So in particular, looking at how people explore and how people learn their environment. So not just what they've learned, but then how do they go about the process of learning and finding out where things are. And so she's looking at brain differences in navigation in these early, midlife people, 45 to 55, and seeing whether or not the brain structures that support them differ, and they do, and she's finding these really interesting differences, even though their behavior actually is very similar. I love working with the Summer Institute and the students in the Summer Institute. They're so enthusiastic and so excited to do research. Many of them have never had research experiences before and are just so excited and thrilled to be here. And particularly, I never had research experiences when I was an undergrad. I didn't really know that that was a thing you're supposed to do. And so I really like being able to give these students that experience and, see them blossom and really get involved in the research for the first time and really be able to understand what this is all about and just the excitement of discovery.